films, and the woman herself who authored all of the Harry Potter books, and then, produces and directs and still makes tons of money off of the shows and films and all that stuff. So we have first this video of Emma Watson, apparently for a while now, because, there was that rift where HBO was like, no, we're going to do the Christmas special, but we're not inviting JK. But then I think JK saw so much support just generally, specifically from liberal lesbian feminists in the UK and places changing their laws, that she was no longer considered the underdog. So now HBO is like happy to work with her again. And so Emma Watson for a really long time had been silent on her disagreements with Rowling on the trans issue. And here she is discussing it.
I've just got to this place where it's just, if it costs me any part of my piece, it's just too expensive. And of course, there's opportunities that I think, wow, that would be amazing. And I care deeply about my work. But I think I just used to completely sacrifice myself for whatever the thing was I was trying to achieve. And that could be a grade, it could be a movie, it could be promoting. I just was obsessed with excellence and doing everything, giving my all to everything and doing it to the best of my ability.
By the way, I suffer from all this too. I try too hard. I give about 110%. I'm too good. I'm too focused, and I'm too
too
so
focused.
Let's just put that out there right now. I prepare too much, but all right, that's my fault. And I love too much. Sorry.
Was obsessed with excellence and doing everything, giving my all to everything and doing it to the best of my ability.
Got it. Here we go.
And
what's going on?
Unless you have the right people around you that can hold that kind of level of commitment, you're going to get smashed up. You're just going to get crushed. And so I think now it's just a case of me being like, okay, I know that for me to do anything, I have to have people in the room that care about me more than whatever the product is or whatever the final product is. And if that isn't the case, I cannot be there because I'm just someone who gives it all. Is how I'm built. And I think understanding that.
All right, hold on a second. Is this a TED Talk on motivation, or is she going to fucking start talking about the subject we're talking about? Or is it just...
I'm about to thank her for coming in for the job interview and let her know we're going to go a different way.
We're going a different way because you're really self-absorbed.
What point are we trying to make? What point are we making with this?
Okay, so apparently...
But how do we arrive on a clip of her just saying she was the most focused person in the room? Wait, now there's another 20 seconds. I want to know.
It was in the same interview where it was in the... So that's Jay Shetty that she's on.
I just want to see the rest, by the way, just because we're completely insane around here. But I do feel motivated if there's any consolation. Let's see.
Of myself and not punishing myself for that, but just knowing it needs certain kinds of conditions is how I've come to hopefully, and it's such a journey and I'll keep doing it forever and probably every day, but accepting myself.
Are you good at accepting yourself?
I don't think one way or the other about myself. I have no thoughts about myself. It's kind of a waste of time. I'm more concerned with how do we arrive on this fucking clip. And what clip are we looking for?
I think this might be the clip that we're looking for.
All right. Well, let's do that one.
There's just no world in which I could ever cancel her out or cancel that out for anything. It has to remain true. It is true. And this is where this holding of these, I just don't know what else to do other than hold these two seemingly incompatible things together at the same time and just hope maybe they will one day resolve or co-join themselves, and maybe accept that they never will, but that they can both still be true. And I can love her. I can know she loved me. I can be grateful to her. I can know the things that she said are true. And there can be this whole other thing. And my job feels like to just hold all of it. But the bigger thing is just what she's done will never be taken away from me.
Huh?
So she was talking about Rowling there, and how Rowling did so much for her, and how she hopes that she can continue to love people who disagree with her, which is the part of the quote I think most of us could agree with, right? Where you have people in our lives that we disagree with. But the rest of the fluff of like, oh, it's like J.K. Rowling is this bipolar two people thing. Rowling did not like that and is not over the feud, according to our friends over the Daily Wire. She then went on X to post, quote, like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life, she's ignorant of how ignorant she is. I'm seeing quite a bit comment about this, so I wanted to make a couple of points here. I'm not owed eternal agreement from any actor who once played a character that I created. The idea is as ludicrous as me checking with the boss I had when I was 21 for what opinions I should and should not have. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Therefore, I understand from my own life experience what the trashing of women's rights in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges.
Go get him, girl.
She continues, quote, the greatest irony here is that had Emma not decided in her most recent interview to declare that she loves and treasures me, a change of tack I respect she's adopted because she's noticed full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was. I might never have been this honest. God, even in her ex, like, she's such a great writer.
She's great.
Like, she continues, adults can't expect to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love, as though the friend was in fact their mother. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right, and I've finally decided to exercise it.
Very good.
Snap.
All right. You know, I was talking to Drew about this the other day. He wants me to bring it up, but I said to him, you know, I'll tell you who I want to work with. Like, I want to be my publicist. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you think about publicity, you know, you go, well, Bad Bunny, man, it's going to get a ton of publicity, free publicity from doing all this. But that's a windfall. Uh-huh. Okay, that's big. And then you go, yeah, but the guy who came up with, you know, the Coca-Cola logo or the company that came up with the McDonald's song, you deserve a break today. But I'll tell you the person I want to work with. Uh-huh. The person, like, it's like, 9 years ago, somebody went, look, here's what we have to do, not only in the United States, but around the world. We have to convince people, and people are like, what? To use margarine instead of butter? No, it's going to be a lot harder than that. To drink Pepsi instead of Coke? No. No, those are easy. To like sign up for the Marines instead of the Navy? No. We have to convince people that men are women and women are men, and men can become women and women can become men. Uh-huh. And that person, like, if you would have said that to me, I would have went, oh, good fucking luck. Good luck.
Feminists are never going to get on board with that.
We can convince people. I think I could get people to start using this toilet paper instead of that toilet paper, or my canned soup instead of those guys' canned soup. But convincing people, not just in the United States, we're going worldwide with this shit. And God damn it, they got literally half the country to buy into this shit, and they got the other half of the country scared to say anything about it, which is insane because it's the most insane proclamation ever undertaken. If you went to every Madison Avenue outfit and talked to John Hamm and Mad Men, and he said, here's your job. What, to get him to get Ford over Chevy? No. We need half this country to think a man can be a woman, a woman can be a man, and you know, stuff assigned at birth. It's not given. It's not biological. Okay, that's one half. The other half is the sane half. They have to be scared shitless to talk, or they're going to lose their job in Hollywood. That's like
not just in Hollywood, in corporations,
everywhere.
Like teachers.
This has got to be the greatest undertaking of humanity. This is much bigger than the Hoover Dam or World War II or the Panama Canal. This is the biggest human endeavor ever to convince people. By the way, 10 years ago, you talk to anyone you know, and they go, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that's my son, that's my daughter. Now shut the fuck up and get out of my house. I don't know what you're talking about. To go from that to, well, you know, he believes and feels like he's trapped inside, and to have the mom nodding her head.
Assigning gender.
Yeah, and the mom's like going, he's right, listen to him. Are you fucking kidding me? We got half the country to do it and the other half to be so scared they wouldn't talk.
I'd go broader. Half of the world to do it.
Well, yes.
And then the other half of the world
I'm leaving out the Middle East.
Well,
and parts
women
of
definitely
Africa
don't get rights there, so
No,
they'd accept men saying they're
Well,
women
I
before women,
said
for
the
sure.
world a few times. The Western world.
Yeah.
The Western world.
Yep.
We have the person that wrote Harry Potter and is responsible for Harry Potter simply explaining a man is a man and a woman is a woman and women and men shouldn't compete in the same sports. And she's going to be taken out of she's going to be erased from the history books and not welcome to the HBO party and everything else. And the cat's going to turn. That's an amazing endeavor. If you think about it, like, what are we capable of, people? Because I'm going to say
cure cancer?
anything. Well, we can't get a bullet train from Fresno to Merced, but
Could probably get Carolla on CNN.
yes,
Yeah.
it could probably get me a weekend show on CNN.
Those people.
It is pretty insane what we were able to do with this project. If you think of it, if you looked at it like a product,
Yeah.
like you go, I got a product. What's a product do?
Well, the
Is
product
it
is like fear mongering and emotional.
No.
It's
The
great,
product,
and
but no, the product is just you got to get everyone to say a man is a woman, a woman is a man, or can be, or what. That's the product. But it doesn't clean windows, and it doesn't freshen air, and it doesn't clean your kitty litter box. But that product is that. And we're going to sell this product, and we're going to get everyone to buy in on it. And the ones who don't buy in on it, and, you know, it's funny because when I told this to Drew, he goes, yeah, but you know, a lot of people, they didn't really buy it. They just were scared. And I said, even better.
Yeah.
You got people who disagree with you so fucking scared that they're not going to say anything. That's
Germans during World War II.
That's the ultimate.
Turns out they're culpable as well, though. The people who remain silent.
Oh, for sure.
Are-
Wait a minute. Germans, World War
No,
II?
I'm just saying, like, you have, like, people, Bonhoeffer that wrote about this, like, the people during World War II that were like, well, we don't really agree with Hitler.
German citizens.
And the Nazis, they're bad, but we don't want our neighbors to rat us out, so therefore
Yeah.
we won't hide Jews and we won't speak up and say anything.
Yeah, we just had our own COVID version of that over here.
Like, people that are now telling me, oh, yeah, I didn't get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
you know.
And it's so.
Or the women, my favorite, though, right now, is some of the liberal hippie ladies I know that are like, oh, I never took Tylenol while pregnant. I never did anything while pregnant.
The sad
But
part.
if Trump says it, they're posting all over their Instagram and TikTok
Right.
about how he wants to hurt women and babies, and Tylenol's totally fine.
The sad part is the people who went along with it. You're right. And it's still, if you take a look at it as a sociological experiment, like, we're going to look back and go, we converted in a very short time.
So short.
We got everybody to believe something that was clinically insane and fight and threaten people and Congress people. We have people on the Supreme Court ask what a woman is, going, I'm not a biologist. I can't answer. Like, it was so
I want to be the highest
effective.
judicial office in the land, but I don't think I'm qualified to say that a woman has a hoo-ha and different chromosomes.
They were scared.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. We scared everybody into saying something that's insane.
But
because they were scared of what? Being ostracized by people who have an insane idea?
Yeah, well, losing a job, losing a school, you had doctors and nurses signing on to this crap too. People that are supposed to first do no harm.
I know. And
that are
now
being
and
tens
it's
of
all going to
millions of
come.
dollars.
It's all going to come undone. It already is.
And kudos to JK for saying this. Originally, she had said back in 2024 that she had no plans to forgive Watson or the other two Harry Potter stars who publicly supported transgender rights. She said, quote, celebs who cozied up to a movement intent on eroding women's hard-won rights and who use their platforms to cheer on the transitioning of minors can save their apologies for traumatized detransitioners and the vulnerable women reliant on single-sex spaces.
God love her.
Real feminist right there.
I agree.
Real feminist.
And there's a clip, actually, back to Drew. He brought it in. I was looking at him with him today. The clip Drew brought in, Andrew, which is sort of what I was saying is it's in this clip, but the whole movement, it's a grievance movement. It's not like it's, we want this, we want to be treated, we want gay marriage. Then you go, okay, fine, get married. And they go, oh, well, we're moving on to more
Next.
grievance. It's
Yep.
all fucking grievance. It's all grievance. The black thing is grievance. All the race stuff, all the gender stuff, it's just grievance. And you'll see in this clip, this was someone who transitioned but regrets it, and she'll explain it. He'll explain it. They'll explain it. Someone will explain it. Here we go.
That cause those symptoms. And when you don't appropriately diagnose people, you lead them into a life of ruin. All of these interventions are permanent, they're irreversible, and they lied to me. I want people to know that they're lying to people. They're not diagnosing autogynephiles as autogynephiles. I have friends who medicalized all the way and are self-admitted HEPs who were never diagnosed with the reason they feel this way. They were just transitioned.
Who do you blame for this sort of fast tracking of medicalizing children?
I think after gay marriage was won, there was an empty hole in gay politics. We had gotten everything we wanted, and I think trans jumped into all of the orgs that were associated with the gay community, and they lobbied to make gender identity a protected thing.
All right.
They
You can
started
stop right
doing
there,
that
because I always just went, hold on, I thought it was the lesbian and gay community. When did trans take everything over?
So true.
I was at a fucking Starbucks in Malibu yesterday, and they had a trans flag hanging. Well, actually, my girlfriend went in and then came back, and she went, ugh, I got a trans flag hanging. And then I said, what kind of flag was it before it became a trans flag? And she goes, what? And I said, what kind of flag? And she went, so it's a trans flag. And I went, all right, let's make it a joke. But anyway, forget it now.
Sometimes the people we want to laugh the most just don't.
It was a beach towel.
You know?
Yeah, come on, I'm a comedian. You got to.
People pay me to do this, woman.
All right, so what they did is they got everything they wanted, and then the trans people showed up and went, we'll take it from here. And
actually undermined everything that members of the gay community did for years.
And it's all there. It's all there as a pushback because they hate their dads and we become their dads. That's all that's going on. Here's what it is. It's basically like you saying. It's like you saying to your stepdad goes, your curfew is 10 p.m., young lady. And then you go, make it midnight. You let me out till midnight and I'll never complain about anything again. And then they go, okay, midnight. And you go, okay. So I can just come back at midnight? Yeah. Oh. Why won't you buy me a 6-pack of beer? What? No, I'm not going to buy you a 6-pack of beer. You buy me a 6-pack of beer, old man. I hate your guts. And then at some point he goes, fine, I'll get you a 6-pack and you can come back at midnight. Okay.
Now give me a fake ID.
I need heroin. I don't need a fake ID. You buy my beer. I want a fake ID and I want the heroin syringe. And you go, absolutely not. That is crazy. I'm not going to do it. Then you go, oh, really? Fuck you. I hate you. And they go, fine, here's your heroin. Here's your rig, your 6-pack. Your fake ID. Don't come back. And you go, okay, I got everything I want. Yeah. And I want to borrow your car. No, I'm not going to fuck you then. And it's like, okay, at what point do you just want grievance? You just want grievance.
Actually,
the drag queen story hour, that's just grievance. That drag queen has nothing in it for him, nothing in it for the kids, nothing in it for anybody. It's all grievance. And they hate their dads, and nobody understands this. And they go, just give them the thing, and then they'll stop. They won't stop because they're in the grievance business.
And I think the hate the dad thing is so true. I think that so many people, whether they're heterosexual, homosexual, in the trans movement, whatever, that have signed on to this, like to pretend that they're a victim and like to victimize their childhood in the ways that they weren't accepted and loved. And so therefore, when they see a kid that's like, I think I might be a man or I might be a boy, they're like, oh my God, let me help you. The intent might be generous, but the actual result is really horrifically and irreversibly dangerous to that child that they see themselves in, and they're trying to like fix this person that needs to be accepted and loved. And it's really twisted.
And also, and they can be talked in. I mean, obviously, Bill Maher says, how come none of this is happening in Iowa or Wyoming? Why is it all in the coast?
Well, maybe those kids don't have phones and TikTok, but
it's like when you hear what's her name from Sex and the City going, my daughter's transition and my nieces have, everyone I know is transition. It's like, okay, bitch, something's going on. Unless you got a really bad water table, but you drink bottled water. What do you think of this? I'm going to bring this up to you, Dawson, because you're not scared. Alicia's going to be scared.
Oh, God.
But it sounds like it's racial, but it's not. 15, 16-year-olds, a lot of girls, especially being in West Coast, East Coast, Manhattan, Los Angeles, they just get in a clique and they just whatever.
I mean, yeah, this is what Abigail Schreier talked about.
Right.
Whether it's anorexia or transitioning or lesbian, little cliques. Yeah.
How many people in this time period, if you told them, like, it's that 16-year-old girl and or boy out here, that same kind of group, you could transition into being a black person, what percentage of them would go for it? I think a lot for where I'm from. A lot from out here.
Well, yeah,
more than sex. They would go for
They're
it.
transitioned to a different ethnicity.
Yeah, they would.
Especially white.
I'm
young
just saying,
white men.
Young
Why
white
wouldn't
dudes
they?
would go to black.
Yes.
And then
They'd be like, sign me up, I'll be Joy Reid.
I'll shave my head, I'll be Joy Reid. And as a dad, I would go, honey, you're 15.
Yeah.
Let's not do this.
Let's not Rachel Dolezal it up.
Yes, I think you'll be 40 and might be unhappy that you did this. So I'm just saying, at that age, a lot of people would do a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're nuts. It's going to go down in history. It'll be whatever happens to Fauci and COVID in history. It'll be about the same.
I actually hope that there's more ramifications for this.
Oh, I mean ramification, but history's not going to be kind to the assholes that were doing the surgery.
Good.
And then plus, I don't know, you ever see that clip of the woman from Vanderbilt talking about how much money there is in top surgery?
And how they're trying to push people in that direction. Like, don't just stop at giving them hormone blockers. Let's make sure that they schedule the surgeries.
Yeah, and she's like, it's $40,000 just for top surgery. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, it's
a
business,
breasts?
you ghouls.
You mean giving a child without cancer a double mastectomy?
At a certain point, you become a ghoul.
Yep,
is what I'm saying. You're slaughtering kids. All right, yeah, let's listen to her. Whatever. This is, by the way, this is not a junior college outside of Tijuana.
This is Vandy.
Starting in January 1st of 2017, according to the Affordable Care Act, insurance carriers are mandated to cover medical expenses.
Oh, good. Oh, sure. Affordable care.
Some of our UMC financial folks in October of 2016, starting a couple of years ago, put down some costs of how much money we think each patient would bring in. And this is only including top surgery. This isn't including any bottom surgery. And it's a lot of money. These surgeries make a lot of money. So female to male chest reconstruction can bring in $40,000. A patient just on routine hormone treatment, who I'm only seeing a few times a year, can bring in several $1,000s. So that requires a lot of visits and labs. It actually makes money for the hospital.
All right. So the point is this. Also,
I don't like to use the B word.
God.
I would apply it to that woman.
Yes.
Like, what a horrific bitch. Like, how many children's lives did she ruin because she could, quote unquote, bring in several thousands of dollars? She's probably making $500,000 a year, being some director of something, and should have her medical license removed.
The bigger part of this time that I find interesting, whether it's this or COVID, is the people who said something about this shit were the ones that were being destroyed.
Yes.
While the left cheered.
We were the anti-science. You know what they're doing now, though? This really pisses me off. NPR, CNN, everybody now, they're not just saying like science, they're saying good science.
Oh, really?
So there are some studies out there that show that, yes, maybe Tylenol during pregnancy ain't great for the baby in utero. Or as the left would call it, a blob of cells. But then there are other studies that show here some of them are European, some are from the United States, saying, no, it's no big deal. It's totally fine, right? So this is where you have now Trump and RFK Jr. have said stuff about it. Literally every single news report on the Tylenol thing and the COVID vaccine thing for children and all these other things, measles, they're big on, is good science. So NPR and CNN are only talking about good scientists. And I'm like, well, then how do you determine who the good scientist is? Is it the people that were transitioning children?
Well, all the good scientists turn out to be wrong during COVID, and all the bad scientists with the misinformation turn out to be right.
Jay Bhattacharya.
And the whole group.
Yep.
All right, one more story, if you got it.
So this is a really bittersweet story. I did not know this about Tim Allen, great guy. The home improvement star said that Erica Kirk's emotional eulogy at Charlie's memorial service, where she apologized or where she forgave his assassin, and spoke deeply about her faith, has now inspired him to forgive his father's killer. His father was killed by a drunk driver when he was just 11 years old. Tim said, quote, when Erica Kirk spoke the words on the man who killed her husband, that young man, I forgive him. That moment deeply affected me. He wrote on X on Thursday. I have struggled for over 60 years to forgive the man who killed my dad, and I will say those words now as I type. I forgive the man who killed my father. Peace be with you all.
Oh, well, good. Good for Timmy.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like I pray that for Charlie's kids, that they can grow up and forgive the man that killed their dad.
Yeah.
Are you doing more security now?
Yes.
It's scary, isn't it? Just a little bit?
Yeah, I was just talking to Dr. Drew, who was traveling around with Gutfeld.
He has it too.
And Gutfeld's they've got like 3 guys assigned to him when he travels around and stuff like that.
I mean, it's sad that, I do campus speeches. I've always done campus speeches the last like 7+ years. And like, it's like I sometimes request security at events, not for me, but for the students in the audience, for like the little old Chamber of Commerce and Republican Party ladies that come out and stuff like that. And I was just at a live action, a pro-life event over the weekend. There's security everywhere. And I think it's less for like the A-listers that are there and as much for the audience that's there as well now.
Yeah.
Like when you go do stand-up now, like you need security for you, but also the crowd of people that the left deems dangerous or violent because of your words. Like, it's ridiculous.
I was thinking about Tim Allen's dad being killed by a drunk driver, and in the pantheon of Joe Biden and why we should hate him more, even though we have enough to hate him, there's one that gets forgotten about a lot, which makes you a really bad person, which is his wife was killed by a truck driver. His son, another son.
It was like his 2 young sons, right? Wasn't it?
They survived. I think the wife died, or maybe one died.
But
or
the daughter,
whatever.
yeah, it was a child. Yeah.
Tragedy. Okay. The guy driving the truck was not at fault.
Yep.
His wife was at fault. Every time Joe would tell the story, he would say the guy drank his lunch, meaning he was driving a semi-truck.
And blame the guy.
Drunk,
yep.
And blame the guy, which is a despicable thing to do for a guy who was driving and somebody caused an accident and now they're dead. And I'm sure he had to live with that guilt. And his daughter asked Joe Biden to please stop lying about it, was killing his dad, and Joe Biden kept saying it. That makes him a very... There's like 50-something tires. It's a kind of weird memorial.
I didn't know that was a thing until recently. I always saw the white bike, too.
Yeah,
it's like, that's for people who hit on bike.
The tire.
But
that is interesting, Adam, because that's what gives like the Jesus and the cross. It's like
I know that's what took you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird balancing act when you're doing the memorials. I mean, the Mexicans do it right. They got the Virgin Guadalupe candle. They got the flowers. They got a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And then they just put it along the side of the freeway or the highway. And then white people just go, somebody died right there on Canaan? Like when was that? And then you look like you're like, the guardrail's intact. Did they jump over the end or did they shoot themselves there? Like they were riding a moped? Like what? Whitey doesn't do that. We don't do the rolling memorial. But it's weird. It's a little off-putting when you see it in a weird place. And I'd actually like to do that. I'd like to get the Virgin Guadalupe candle and the flowers and the stuffed animal, just put it in front of people's garage. Set it there. Everyone in the neighbors like, a Mexican died in front of Stan's garage? I guess so.
Just set it up deep on a Target aisle, like
right.
back corner of a Target.
Some Mexican died in the toy section of a Target? Yeah, and then people start wondering, like, Stan's garage? You think Stan ran him over, like, at night? Like he was sleeping? Maybe Stan's maid died in his garage and Stan hit him with the car? Maybe the garage door crushed Stan's maid? Like,
right at the garage door, yeah.
I'd put it everywhere. That's a good idea. Because it's really confusing. Like there was one in front of the liquor store on Barham, and I'm like, is someone died at the liquor store? They die on Barham? That's my liquor store? Like now, is it haunted?
Haunted liquor store.
All right, should we do a little news?
Let's do it.
Baby.
Let's do a little news.
Sandy Snakenberg, a.k.a. the Bubble Pirate, was arrested in San Diego. He's a local performer who has been creating bubbles at the park. And he was arrested near La Jolla Cove and was ticketed by a park ranger on August 24th. Not for reasons one might suspect. It wasn't for a violation of the city of San Diego's regulations on expressive activity, but rather because the bubbles he created were alleged to be a pollutant.
We are slowly going insane. And I've said it a million times. It's a California thing. Look, I've been to Tijuana a million times. You go to Tijuana, and the reason you go to Tijuana is to do what you want.
Right.
You eat fit street tacos. You go into whorehouses. Motorcycle cops are riding wheelies down the street.
Right.
That's how unregulated Tijuana is. And we used to go on surf trips with my construction crew, and we would load up all the pickup trucks with bikes and surfboards and all sorts of shit. And we end up driving through Baja. We go like deep Baja and then find a surf spot and like pull over on the side, dirt roads, no one around. When we would sit in the back of the pickup truck, because it wasn't king cab pickup trucks, it was just cab. There's two guys in the front, there's three guys sitting in the pickup truck. We would be sitting back there with a bottle of tequila, a bag of M80s, and a lit cigar, and we'd be lighting the M80s off the cigar and throwing them at the guy in the truck behind us. Then passing around a bottle of tequila in the middle of the day. Because that's what lawlessness looks like, which is the upside of lawlessness. Now, later on, when you get robbed at gunpoint at the beach and there's nobody there to save you, that's the downside of lawlessness. But it's a tacit agreement. You've entered this zone, and we were like, look, we're all 22, we're all fucking idiots, and we'd rather go to a place where we can ride a motorcycle naked in the desert and light M80s off a cigarette, and we can worry about the banditos, but that's a small price to pay for drinking tequila and lighting M80s off a cigar and throwing it on an open road. But California is not that.
No.
California is half that. California is, if you would like to defecate in public and walk around swinging a machete and do whatever the fuck you wanted, that's okay. But the blowing the bubbles, that's not going to work because that could be toxic. Like Joe and I were down at the beach club the other day working on some comedy, and they had a problem with their septic system. And it was told to me by the guy who manages the beach club, all the sinks are shut off. So the sink by the barbecue is shut off, and the barbecues are shut off because you could be rinsing vegetables in the sink or chicken in the sink, and then that water would run directly into the Pacific Ocean, and they can't have that. Now, you're not defecating in the sink, but you're doing it. Meanwhile, the LA River is filled with homeless people shitting in it, and then every time a rain comes in, all the shit just washes into the bay. And if you go a quarter mile from where we were, there's RVs lining up the entire way with people just emptying their waste into the ocean. So they got a big problem with you and your vegetables in the sink, but they have no problem with all the homeless people in the LA River swept out into the sea. So
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
This just drives me nuts. I'm here in New York, and they did the thing with the low flush, so they cut the pipe in the back. So the amount of water that comes into my toilet, every time I flush, it's like a fat guy did a cannonball, and all this water splashes up like a fountain. Right. Then I have to clean that up, and I'm reflushing the tissue that I've now cleaned. I'm flushing more.
Yeah, you have to do 3 flushes.
Biohazard.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
LA is basically, on California, all liberal cities are this way. They have tons and tons and tons of rules, and then no rules if you just want to fucking walk around with a machete.
In fact, in this story, they were saying that there was an ordinance that the city created 4 by 8 foot expressive activity zones. So that's 4 by 8 blocks where performers and others with free speech protections are directed to go on a first come, first serve basis.
They broke up a oceanside yoga class the other month. It's San Diego or somewhere in that area too, which is somebody held a class of people did yoga, like beachfront yoga. It's like no permit. No.
Yeah.
Park an RV wherever the fuck you want, cook meth, do whatever the fuck you want, but do yoga. well, by the way, pay taxes and then do yoga at the beach. We're coming for you. It's not tenable. I keep telling everyone it can't exist. It can't keep going this way. You cannot have two separate societies, like weird fucking underground lawless
and they
society.
come together a lot. Like when I lived in Venice, you couldn't park in the beach lots overnight unless you were an artist who was going to rent one of the spaces, and then you could get there like before sun up, so you could set up. Mm-hmm. So then the homeless just got permits to be artists, and they would sell old shoes and shit like that and sit there and live on the beach. And you're like, now we're just like permitting homeless people to live on the beach. It's insane.
It's not sustainable, is what I'm saying. And we're kind of getting there fast, and I've been talking about it for a million years, and we got to do something soon. But yes.
I don't know if you have this in LA, but in New York, you can just go into an Apple store or wherever and just take phones and walk out.
Right. Yeah, there's no problems. Yeah, we have that. We have that everywhere. It's awesome. All right, what else we got, Joe?
A New York suburban county isn't going to have these problems. They're getting ready to arrest anyone that is wearing a face mask under a new law that bans covering your face. In fact, Nassau County Police on Sunday responded to reports of a suspicious person on the street near the Levittown-Hicksville town line. They found Westlin Omar Ramirez Castillo wearing black clothing and a black ski mask.
Hold on,
covered his
Trump,
face.
what should we do with Westlin Omar Castillo?
Okay, I already had this drawn out. We're going to dig a big pit, okay? We dig the big pit. We throw him in there. Mm-hmm. Anybody else like him, quote, I'm putting that in quotes. And then put a nice little fence around there. Electrify it, okay? Electrocute the fence.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Listen, criminals are, and cartels, who are criminals, are the most fluid people in the world. Like all they need, they're like an F1 team of crime. Like we're just looking for tenths of seconds to shave. It's just like everyone's walking around in a mask, right? Yeah. We made everyone wear a mask. Yep. In public. Yep. 2-year-olds even. Yep. So I could just put a mask on all the time and then I wouldn't really be recognized. And then I could go, what about hoodies? Oh, we yell at people, tell people not to wear hoodies. Oh, so I can wear a hoodie? Yeah. And a mask? Yeah. And no one can say shit? No. But if they did, they'd be called racist. Oh, okay, so I'm just going to put the hoodie on and the mask, and I can go to the Apple store in Manhattan and take what I want? Well, up to $1,000. Oh, okay. All right, I know what I'm doing this week. That's it. That's all they do. I mean, when I was talking last week to our homeless guest, he's like, yeah, we get the EBT cards from the government. I go into the Ralphs. I buy the hot dogs and buns. I give them to the Mexicans who make the ghetto dogs and sell them out in front of Staples Center. They give me 50 cents on the dollar. They got free, discount dogs and whatever. I got cash to buy drugs. That's how we roll.
Right.
That's how everything works. And that's why nothing can work other than whatever your grandpa said, hard work and discipline and exercise. Human beings can't be trusted with anything because all we do is take advantage of everything.
All you do is fill pickup trucks full of bikes and surfboards and fireworks.
Go to the desert. That's all we do.
Whaleheads and bears.
One of the greatest moments of that Baja trip is I bought a hat that I was so proud of. I had like a big straw sombrero kind of hat, and I love my sombrero. And at some point, I was bragging to everyone about my sombrero. And, everyone's just drinking tequila and surfing and drowning and riding motorcycles drunk and stuff. But I love my big straw sombrero. And, I was sitting around drinking with everyone or something. And, at some point, somebody went like, Adam, your sombrero's over there on the beach. And I was like, oh, hey, how my sombrero get on the beach? And I started walking toward it and it blew up because they put an M80 in my sombrero. And then it like a Wile E. Coyote, like it had a blown top that was all frazzled and blown out, like when you put your finger in a shotgun.
Even more.
And it was charred.
Yeah.
It was blown out. The top was blown out and charred, and I fucking liked it more. Yeah. Yeah. All right, what else we got?
We've got a 49ers rookie receiver who was shot in Union Square in San Francisco the other day. He was there for a signing, and he was a man attempted to rob him for his Rolex watch. He got into a scuffle. Both men were shot, but the 49ers rookie Ricky Pearsall shot in the chest. Bullet went out his back. He is in serious to fair condition, and the 49ers issued a statement that he'll be released from San Francisco General Hospital early this week.
Byron, if you're in there, find London Breed, given her thing. By the way, she looks so fucking incompetent, the mayor. She's like, today, Ricky, she had to look down, but Pearsall, like, it's a bitch, just read over the notes. You're in a limo. You're in the limo for 40 minutes. Just fucking memorize the guy's name. He was number 1 draft pick of your team in your town, and he just got fucking shot.
She had to look at her notes to say, "We wish him the best on the field."
She looks
season
insanely incompetent. But here's what I want to say, and this is why everyone thinks I'm a racist. You watch all the official proceedings. It's like you got the black police chief with the 2 black women who are city council, whatever, flanking him. You have the black mayor of the city. You have the black DA woman who goes, we're going to get to the bottom of this. This notion where we just got to get all black people on the other side of the criminals, and then that's going to somehow fix it. It doesn't. It doesn't fix it at all. There's no evidence that says black female DAs are more effective than white male DAs. We just do it, and it like satiates us. And we also get to go, well, we get the black chick, and then when she busts the black dude who shot the white receiver, then we won't call her racist. We just kind of cover ourselves. There is no indication that they do. Find me the black female mayor in whatever major city and tell me they do a better job, which doesn't mean they can't do a better job. It just means don't vote for them based on that. There's no evidence whatsoever that the towns are better, safer, cleaner, or anything. It's just everyone is black. And now we go, okay, we're San Francisco. This is how we work. But it doesn't mean the job gets done. And
I think San Francisco would be better off on a whole if their mayor was white and their receivers were black.
Yes.
Just swap these two. Ironically, the only person in this story who is white is the NFL wide receiver.
I dream of a city where all the ball handlers,
all the skilled position players
guys
are
black, and all the decision makers are white. That's the dream George Seifert had back in the day. And that clip is great. She looks, well, first off, also, when you're in that position and you're only going to be in that position like for 5 minutes, you have to feign some interest, no matter who you are. You have to. She didn't feign much interest. She didn't memorize the guy's name. She didn't really know what was going on. And then she does the one I love. I love this. It's new because it's new. I love it. It's like, this thing is unacceptable. And it's like, the thing that just happened? Yes, unacceptable. Well, you should start accepting it because this guy's in an ambulance, you know? No, I'm not. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable in that it can't happen, or that you don't accept that it did happen, or that it won't happen. It's going to happen again. It'll happen in the next 24 hours. Someone's going to get shot. Not acceptable. Okay. So the problem is solved because you won't accept that a guy got shot in broad daylight in your town? Like, what is this? What is the unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
What's that cover? So if I was at your house and I had a big bowl of pudding and I dropped it and it broke on the kitchen tile, would that be
unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
But there's a bunch of pudding on the floor. You don't accept that?
No. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable that I can't do it again? Or is it just unacceptable for it happening?
You know what unacceptable means.
Unacceptable. All right. Well, it's not acceptable. All right. Except for it happened. And it happens all the time. Okay. Do we have that, Dawson, somewhere?
Editing it right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got to start wondering about Florida Gator receivers because Pearsall was a Florida Gator selected number 31 overall. We've got Aaron Hernandez from Florida.
Gator.
He's Gator. Was the other guy Riley Cooper?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he got suspended for saying the N-word at a concert.
Oh, that was him. Yeah.
Just about every receiver that comes out of Florida is getting into some sort of trouble.
This story is the craziest story ever. It's like
the Gator curse.
He was shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other guy, yeah, he got shot too.
Yeah. There was a tussle for the gun.
Right. So is there two separate shots?
Well, I don't know if that's not in the story, but I do know that the one bullet went through Pearsall and out his back, through his chest and out his back. Now, was it being held against him, went through his chest, out his back, into the other guy?
I don't know.
That's
but
a magic bullet.
I'll tell
JFK.
you. I'll tell you, it's going to be great, Donald Trump. I'm going to give it about 7 weeks. And then we're going to hear Benjamin Crump has this 17-year-old who shot him as a client, and he's going to want some money because he's going to basically explain that he went to rob him, yes, but the rich guy aggressively moved on him, escalating this situation, and now he's unable to work and incarcerated. He's going to sue him at some point. The 17-year-old is going to lawyer up and sue the wide receiver.
He will be charged.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Oh, not on your watch. I know.
Not going to happen.
That's true. And he'll be tried as a juvenile. They already
Correct.
worked that one out.
He'll be charged in juvenile court.
Right.
He'll be thrown into the pit.
Right. But he's going to be out in 3 years. So that'll be that. Okay. And don't worry, he'll be on the street. And that'll be great. Yeah, that's progress, Trump. You got to understand what progress looks like. I sort of argue that if you think it's a good idea to shoot somebody at like 17, you think it's even better idea at 25. Like I feel like that's in you. That's not youthful indiscretion. Now, maybe you can make a juvenile court argument for me around 13.
Yeah.
But if you're beating off on the regular, I call you a dude.
Right.
You're now a dude.
Right.
You're beating off on the regular and you shoot somebody with the in broad daylight. You're man enough for me.
Also, you know, what the crime is. Like, if a 17-year-old was lighting off fireworks
in the back of a pickup and
he was trying to set his buddy's sombrero up and then somebody lost a hand.
Stole someone's car to joyride and slid into a farmer's market.
Tried to steal a Rolex at gunpoint. That's an adult crime.
It'd be good to have that as like your drinking age. As soon as you can do that, even if you forget your license, you could prove your age.
Oh, by masturbating?
Yeah, like that would be such a great day for you that now I'm a man.
It would be. You'd be a man. I mean, the Jewish religion had it right. But would you want to work at that DMV, Kyle? People just. It's like
I didn't think it through. I'll be honest.
Kyle'd be there, and he's like, "You still got the Lexan shield up 3 years after COVID? No, not for COVID. For guys proven they can drive a car by jizzing all over my desk."
A new California bill to stop road rage. Everybody's got to masturbate before they get a license.
That's right. Take the edge off.
You got to jack one off, and then you can get your permit.
We have this. Oh, they also always explain this isn't something that normally happens
I would just say that it is very rare for something like this to happen in Union Square, and also as what was mentioned earlier. We have had an increase in officer deployment, specifically covering the Union Square area for the past couple of years.
Oh, okay.
And so, unfortunately, this incident, we are glad that the victim will be okay. But this incident does set us back from all the hard work that we've done in order to make significant changes in public safety in San Francisco. We still have the lowest violent crime rate of any major city. We are on track to have record low numbers of gun violence in particular in this city. And the police department has done an extraordinary job in addressing many of those issues, investigating those crimes, and holding people to account.
Well,
and
where's the clip we're talking about? Not around?
She has great conditioner. It's really shiny.
She relaxed the shit out of that hair. She's got a mayoral hot comb like nobody's business. Well, Dawson, I only want the one we need.
That's
so
what I'm
not around.
I'm trying to explain that right now.
Okay. Yes, because people.
What a total disaster that Dawson is.
Well, I oftentimes ask for clips, then I get another clip, but that it's got to be at the beginning of the same press conference, I guess. All that was her explaining to us that things were pretty good over there, but I still want to figure out how this guy got shot, and also this Pearsall guy, he got shot. I thought he was nicked or, had a nipple nick or something like that.
No.
He shot through and through, and he was just walking over to the ambulance like under his own power.
That's why Bill Belichick likes the little white wide receivers. They're tough.
Yeah, they're gritty.
They're crafty.
That's a
gritty.
possession guy.
Yeah.
He's moving the chains.
He's not afraid to go over the middle.
Yeah, he doesn't hear footsteps.
No.
The other thing, it's got to be
Pearsall got shot.
It's got to be weird where his coach, because he was on like IR or something, you know? So
he just got off IR, exactly. He recently returned to 49ers practice after missing the past 3 weeks.
Coach got to be like, you missed 3 weeks because you said you had turf toe?
Yeah.
But I just saw you get shot and then walk to the ambulance having a conversation. So is it really your pain tolerance is that low or turf toe? You missed 3 preseason games with turf toe, but then you get shot with a through and through and you're laughing on the way back to the
I like the
ambulance?
hard-nosed coach. It's always something with you, Pearsall. If it's not your shoulder subluxation, it's your getting shot in the chest.
If you didn't hyperextend your elbow, it's getting shot. Yeah. Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. You were caught in a crossfire.
Are you hurt
bullet
or
went through your chest?
Hurt or injured?
Yeah.
There's a
Is
difference.
the bullet in there?
Yeah.
No? Then what are you fucking crying about?
Yeah. If you'd been wearing your pads right, that bullet wouldn't have entered in the first place. All right, what else we got?
We've got the top earners in Britain are fleeing over tax raids. An exodus.
Raids or race? Raids.
Tax raids.
Rates with a T.
No, raids is what the
Oh.
headline reads. Tax raids. An exodus is being reported by bankers, financial advisors, and business chiefs, with experts warning that the chancellor risks ruining hopes of faster economic growth with a widely expected increase in capital gains tax.
Hey, Kamala wants to raise capital gains, right?
It's not going to happen. She's not going to be voted in. This is all a waste of everybody's time.
She wants to do unrealized gains. She wants you to pay taxes on, like, if your house goes up, but you didn't sell it, or your stock goes up, but you didn't sell it. She wants you to pay taxes on the stuff you didn't get yet. I don't know why people don't feel like that's pretty intrusive shit. Like they go, hey, these people want to control your body inside the doctor's room. It's like, yeah, these assholes want 3/4 of the money I make. That's pretty intrusive. Like, why is that not, in terms of like being outraged? Like, okay, there's a couple of books in Florida where guys are butt fucking and they don't want them in the library, and you guys are very upset about that. But in terms of impacting your life, how about them helping themselves to tons of your money and then incarcerating you if you don't pay it? Does that feel somewhat intrusive?
It's a very weird time that we're living in, especially in the United States, because both sides are arguing that the government is too intrusive. Mm-hmm. And then the people that are defending each of the sides don't even match up with what we're doing. Like, we have all the super rich Hollywood actors who want the more taxes, and then we have the blue collar Americans who are like protecting billionaires' taxes. Like, can everybody just fucking pick a lane and stick in it?
How about we just shrink government a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I'd like. So listen, here's how billionaires work, right, Trump? You guys are smart. You didn't get to be billionaires by being dumb. And the government are dumb because you don't work for the government if you're smart. So what the government does is they go, here's the move we're going to make to get more money out of you. We're going to raise the minimum wage to $20 in California. And Burger King, you're going to pay up. And then Burger King goes, yeah, but we're smart. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the price of the Whopper. We're going to take all the full-time guys and cut them back to part-time guys. And then we're going to start looking into kiosks and Flippy, the remote burger flipper. And then the government goes, why can't you just man up? And they go, well, that's not what we don't man up. We make money for our constituency and our shareholders. So that's what we're going to do. And by the way, we're going to do it all day, every day. Whatever it is you do, we're moving. We're starting an offshore account. We'll do whatever we have to do to avoid whatever it is that you're doing. And we're smarter than you. And we have many people that are smarter than you. And this is what they do. And then everyone goes, what's up with these offshore accounts? Like, well, they move because you raised the corporate rate too much. But if you lower the corporate rate, then they will move back. And they go, fuck you. We're not in the business of helping rich people. I'm like, all right, well, we'll see you in Bermuda where we have our offshore accounts. And that's just what they do. They have a move for every move you have. So just know it and then just figure it out.
I don't know why, and maybe I just don't know, but the conversations about how are we going to make the government run tighter, and I don't hear those conversations really at all. I just hear raise taxes.
Yeah, we got to get more money. And it's like, how about we shrink the cost of government a little bit? What if we scaled it? What if we streamlined it a little bit?
And that's why it's so frustrating to be an American citizen that's like, let's just shrink government, because the number one thing we spend on is the military and defense. But God forbid,
can't get into that.
You can't get into that, because then people are like, no, well, I mean, you just hate America.
I think the number one thing we spend on now is the deficit.
Yes.
And so we're just paying interest on a loan that we created, that we borrowed too much. So deficit one, I know. I don't know.
But you can't say you'll cut the military. That pisses off one side. But you can't say we're going to cut how much we give homeless. That never works, because that pisses off the other side. It's like if everybody got on the same page of just let's shrink it, and just like across the board.
Yeah, well, look, one could argue. Here's what one could argue. One could argue that the military is necessary. And then one could go, California spent $24 billion on homeless and got nothing.
Right.
So my feeling is look, I'm not a big fan of the military, but if we need it and we get a couple Tomahawk missiles come out the other end, then so be it. To me, it's the insane, abject waste. It's just a waste.
Well, I think, to be fair, I think that's the exact same thing. Like, there's something to do about homelessness, just not what they're doing.
Yeah,
we should have all the drones.
I wish there was a bridge that would, monorail that would take me to LAX. That's fine. Like, I think it's the waste. I think the waste in general is what people have problems with.
That's my point. Is like, if you look at the military, like we're not going to fight a war going forward that's not just drones and Tomahawk missiles and nuke subs for the rest of time. So why are we putting people in little houses across the world and little bases and little army things and paying for everybody's? Like, do we need foot soldiers at this point, or I think we've passed that?
We can't. Well, the industrial complex. Right. I mean, it's so insane.
Right.
It's all insane. But the whole point is government, stop talking about getting more money.
Yeah.
Just let's talk about reeling it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Board of Education, don't fucking need it. Everyone goes nuts. Like when you go, I don't want the Board of Education. I go, what? What are you talking about? You don't think kids should have learned to read? Like,
right.
We didn't have the Board of Education in 1980. I went through all the way. This may be not a great testimonial for getting rid of the Board of Education, but I made it all the way into high school before there was a Board of Education. You used to be able to just run a school in your school district. We didn't need huge unions and huge bloated bureaucracies deciding what we did. Just fucking get rid of it. get rid of a bunch of shit. Now, there's tons of people who have fake jobs now.
Right.
And that's the problem. We have millions of people, whether it's Board of Education or TSA or whatever it is, just thousands and thousands of jobs where people don't really do anything, but they unionize and they're not going to vote for you and they're not going to support you if you want to get rid of them. So then we get this bloated shit bureaucracy.
It's like going back to the bubble story. Now we have a 4x8 box. Now you got to permit the box. You got to have somebody that monitors the boxes. You got to have a guy who says, just let Bubbles the clown fucking spray his bubbles.
I used to say all the time, what do beavers do? Like if you put beavers on the roof of the Empire State Building, they would start looking for wood to build a dam. Yeah. And you go, what? That doesn't make any sense. It does if you're a beaver. That's what they do. That's all they're here for. And you go, the more politicians, the bigger bureaucracies, the more labels. Oh, this is, you got to go, you got to talk to the Coastal Commission. It's like, they're just going to do what beavers do. They're not there to not make rules. They're there to make rules, and there's going to be more, and it'll keep going, and there's not going to be less 5 years from now. There's going to be more 5 years from now, and that's it. So we're going to have to nip this thing not in the bud. It's fully bloomed, but I mean, we're going to have to figure out a way to get our hands around this thing and go, it's not the government's job. Like when I hear Kamala Harris going, I'm here for small business. I'm going to get these businesses. It's like, that's not your job. Your job is to reel it in, get rid of some of the regulation, let them keep a little more money that they make. Don't overburden them. Don't overtax them, and then see if they can do it. It's not your job to make them flourish, and you can't. That's it. It's your job just to pull back a little, let them run their business. There you go. All right. Shall we?
Tulsa King. New season coming soon.
Oh, Tulsa. Yeah, Tulsa King. I'm sorry, Sly.
You're right.
No. Joe says it's great. Joe says it's great.
I like it. I don't know if it's great, but I like it.
All right.
I enjoy it.
All right.
Thank you.
I think London Breed in her speech.
I know the exact clip that you're talking about. I heard it on KABC on my way in. And
I saw it on TV.
The only part of that we're finding on the internet is just London Breed saying, I look forward to seeing him on the field.
Do they scrub stuff? Like, should I be suspicious? Like, I was watching it on the news over the weekend where it's London Breed just says his name.
I know the exact clip you're talking about.
Huh. Interesting. And she also said it wasn't acceptable. Well, maybe it is. I say this, I think 3 times a week where I go, I have no idea how the internet works. I see something on TV.
To be fair, when you say that, I always sit in the other room and